Number 4 was a vital key for me in the beginning of my healing journey. Hey my loves, my name is Felicia Morgan and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me, and if you are coming back, it is good to see you as always. So listen, my channel has been taking a shift as I have entered into a new season of becoming. Okay, and so I'm starting to talk more about healing that negative narrative and learning to embrace, love, and own all of who God created us to be. So if you are for that, join me on this journey. Let me tell you something. Healing is not for the weak. I understand completely 100% why some people just decide to be like, I'm gonna stay the same and be in the same cycle. I don't have the capacity to be in that same cycle. It is exhausting, it is tiring, but this healing work is work. So if you have decided to take that step and go on that journey, I commend you, I applaud you, I am proud of you, and I want you to keep going. And so after last week, I talked about burnout and that season I have been through. I'm starting to get back into the groove of being able to share with you again and do more videos. And so this week, I wanted to talk about 5 things that I have learned on my healing journey that I did not know before about the process of healing. So here we go. Number 1, regaining clarity is a process. And I mean, like, knowing who you are, knowing what you want was a big hurdle for me when I first started my healing journey. People would ask me simple questions like, what is your hobby? My therapist would ask me, what do you want? What do you want out of relationships? What do you want your relationships to look like in the future? And I was stuck. I was idle. I had no answer. I was like, I don't know. And that is a lot for me because I am somebody who from a young age always knew how my life was going to play out. And here I am at 35 and my life is in shambles. And so I had to relearn what Felicia wanted. And I am learning that is a process, but it takes being more aware so that I can gain clarity on what that is. Being aware of how I feel about things, what I think about things, and not skirting over those negative emotions like I used to do in the past, but really paying attention to like, okay, why do you feel that way? Why do you not like that? Let's make a note of that so we don't have to circle back to that. Because clarity is important, because when you have clarity, you know where you're going and you know what to do in order to execute to get there. But because I have been in such limbo of like, I don't know, I don't know what to do. So that has been a learning process for myself that I did not really understand was going to be a part of my healing journey. Which leads me to number 2. The will to do has changed. A few weeks ago, I was working out and I'm so used to like, I'm gonna push through, I'm gonna go hard, I'm gonna give it all I got, I'm gonna leave nothing left. And I wanted to, and I thought it, but my body was like, not today, sis. What are you talking about? We don't do that no more. And I started crying because I was like, I'm so used to like having that extra oomph, and I couldn't do it. And I just started to cry because I used to be able to do that, and here I am. And so your will to do things or to exercise, to commit to things, to execute on things will change. I'm no longer working out from a place of anger or frustration and letting out that pent up energy. I have to work out from a new source. When I do my YouTube videos, when I'm working on my goals, it's no longer for validation or to please a certain person or a group of people. I'm doing it out of who I am and my being that God created me, and that has been a learning process. it's learning to navigate that in my mindset and also how I do things. And so that extra push, that extra I used to be able to give and just work through how I feel, it's not the same. And I'm learning that it's okay for it not to be the same, but how can I still accomplish things? Or maybe today is a day to rest and work from a place of rest, and learning to balance those things and not feeling bad about who I am if I'm not accomplishing those things at the pace that I feel like I should be. Number 3 is grieving the old as you embrace the new. Grief is not just about losing someone you were close to, but it could be your old self, how you used to do things, the person you used to be. As you step into this new world as a healed you, or a person who's in the process of healing. So just like my example about working out, like I was crying because I was grieving how I used to work out. I was grieving how I used to be able to push through and just be super ambitious and have all the energy to do it and get it done. And I don't have that in me anymore, so I was grieving that. But there may be other areas, and they're gonna come up at different times. Even grief that what you know now you didn't know back then. But I encourage you, if you find yourself in that place, which those times of grief are going to come up. First of all, give yourself grace. You made the best decision with the knowledge you had at the time that you made that decision. And so now you know better, but you did your best. And sometimes your best was just making a decision to survive in whatever atmosphere you were in. And that is okay, but you're no longer there. And so those emotions that you had at that time, they're going to come up as you begin to heal, as you get better. And you have to allow yourself to process that. And so I was not ready for that. I was not ready for the different moments of grief or the different things I would feel like I would regret, or feelings of shame because I feel like I should have known better. But when those emotions come up, acknowledge them for what they are, but recognize that you have to give yourself grace so that way you can then navigate into what is new and that God truly wants to gift you with. Number 4 was a vital key for me in the beginning of my healing journey, and that is being able to identify and name your emotions. As an overcoming people pleaser and someone who has dealt with emotional abuse, I was used to sweeping my emotions under the rug, not acknowledging how I felt, not acknowledging what I did not like, always catering to other people and how they felt and helping to manage their emotions in an atmosphere. And that was a lot. And so I was told a lot of times I was too sensitive or I'm being too emotional, and so I learned to mask how I felt. And so now that I'm in a healing journey, I wasn't being asked how I felt about something, and so a lot of times my answers would be, I was emotional the other day, or I was sensitive and I started crying. And it's like, and I would be asked like, but what emotion? Or how did you get to that point? Or why? Because all of us, everybody, goes through a range of emotions. We are not robots. While some of us have maybe more intense range of emotions, that doesn't negate the fact that we all experience different emotions, but emotions are not a bad thing. How you feel is not a bad thing, but it's understanding it and being able to identify it so that way they don't control you and your emotions aren't leading you. You have to be aware of where you're at, what you feel, how you feel, why you feel. Your emotions are key indicators, and sometimes it's something your body is attempting to tell you, and so we do have to pay attention to them, but also not be led by them, so that way we can make clear, logical decisions. And then lastly, understand that your healing comes in waves. I would be having a great day And then the next day, I felt like I plummeted down, or I would be overwhelmed and highly sensitive, and then I would start lashing out, or I would just be completely moody. And a lot of times when that would happen, I would feel like I'm falling behind, or I feel like I took a step forward and I took 2 steps back. You are not falling behind. You are not losing your healing. This is a part of the process. This is why healing is so difficult. It's because it comes in waves. It is not a straight line. You're going to have those up and down moments. You're going to have those triggers, but it's understanding those things so that you can continue to get better and elevate above that, and maybe have longer periods where you're feeling good, you're feeling content, you're on the up and up. And one of the key things that has helped me in this is having somebody safe that I can go to, having somebody that I can express myself to, that I can vent to. It's so important to have those people in your corner that are safe, because it has also been teaching me that I am capable of being loved on my bad days just as much as my good days. And that love should be unconditional, and that I am deserving of unconditional love, not just based on the fact that I was able to give good energy for that day. So regardless of how high or how low I get, I am loved. So if you don't have anybody to talk to at this time, I know sometimes we have seasons in life where God is teaching us to depend on Him more and to have Him be our friend. But I encourage you that if you don't feel like you have anybody safe, my prayer is that you do find who that is, or that God gives you the wisdom and discernment to know the difference of who those safe people are in your life, or that He would bring or even reveal who that already is in your life. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that that gave you encouragement as you have begun your healing journey, or even gave you clarity for your own journey, and allowed you to know, like, you're not alone, and you're also not going crazy. Like, this thing is tough. And so again, I'm so proud of you for taking that journey, and hopefully I gave you some insight to help you along your journey as well. So thank you again for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, please like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. That way you can know about the next video that drops, and I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye.